What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another lesson video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the next song off of the Mirador album that came out this fall. This one's going to be Must I Go Bound. Now, before I get into this one, as I do with most of my lesson videos, half of it's going to be here on YouTube with the tabs posted kind of up here for the specific part that we're looking at. And then the full thing will be available on my Patreon page along with the PDF for supplementary tabs so that you can follow along when you're over there. And it just helps if you're a visual learner, just keep track of it a little bit better. So if you're interested in supporting me as a creator and also going through the full song in depth, the link's going to be down in the description box below. So just click that link and it should take you straight to where you're looking to go. So without any further ado, let's get right into this video. So to begin with, you're going to be in your standard tuning. So E, A, D, G, B, E. Nothing fancy there. I know this album has a lot of different tunings, but this one is not one of them. And then you're starting with an A minor chord. So open A, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, 1st fret B, and then 3rd fret E. So you're adding that 3rd fret E. That's in addition to your A minor. And so in the tabs, I'll start off with this before I go in depth. In the tabs, it's going to show specific strings and notes to play. And so this is kind of like a loose representation of what's going on there because there's two guitar parts going on. And so it's very hard to get exactly what each part is playing. And so I believe I've got what Jake was playing relatively accurate, but again, there is certain nuance that doesn't get picked up on the page here with these tabs. So there will be specific numbers and such that are written down, but it's not necessarily exactly how you have to play it. Like there is a certain amount of feel that you can add to it on your own. So even though it says like, it doesn't have to be exactly that. Like you can kind of add your own flair. It doesn't, and that what I played there was not exactly what was on the page. And so I can guarantee that what Jake and Chris are playing live is almost never exactly the same twice because they just play by feel a lot of the time and they're a very improvised band, right? So don't be too hard on yourself in terms of getting exactly what the tab says. If you can get just the rhythms and the feel of it down pretty close, then you should be fine because I can guarantee you that's pretty much exactly what they're doing every night when they play this song as well. So you've got that A minor chord. The most important part here is going to be, that's your melody line in the guitars, right? So everything else in between is not as big of a deal, but you really have to have just like that. So you can go downstroke on your 2nd D after you play the chord, upstroke on the E, so that's on your 1, and I'm just flattening my 1st finger there to do that. Open A, downstroke, and then upstroke on your open E. And then downstroke on the 2nd D, upstroke on the 2nd G. And you've got this variation of a C chord with an added D. So 3rd fret A, 2nd fret D, open G, and then 3rd fret B. And then I'm using my pinky on the 3rd fret B there. And so you'll see this little pull-off thing in the tab here. It's gonna be a tricky one because it's so quick. So you'll pluck the 2nd fret D first, and then on the upstroke, you're plucking the 3rd fret B, and that pinky's coming off real quick to pull off to your 1st fret B. So, and then downstroke on your 3rd A, open B, down on your 2nd D, and then open G, up. And then here my thumb is coming over the top. So if anybody's learned Weight of Dreams before, it's the same idea, same chord. So thumb over the top on the 1st of your E, 3rd fret A and D, 2nd G, and 1st B. So I'm playing the E string first, and then the rest of the chord after, 2 downstrokes. then third A, open G, third A, third D. And then here you're gonna downstroke on your E, A, D, and G. So basically keep that same position, except your second finger is coming off for open G. And then once you strum it, your second finger hammers on to the second fret G. And then third fret A. And then you leave a little bit of space, then you go back to second fret G, and then third fret A, third fret D. So that F part, so the bar before, starting there, 3, 4. So a little bit tricky. You're going to really have to focus in on your right hand for this one. But once you get that down, it's not too bad. And then it goes again. Now in this second time, it's a little bit different coming out of the F chord. Instead of going, you're going the other way. So you'll go G, D, A instead of G, A, D. So the position is the exact same, except you're just plucking the strings in a different pattern there. So that'll go through a couple more times, same deal all the way through the intro, and then you'll get into the verse. And so here in the verse, again, I'll reiterate that there are a lot of notes that are picked out and put on the page here, but it doesn't mean you have to play all of them. If you're just wanting to play the chords, a hammer on or a pull off here and there, that's absolutely okay, and I think that would actually fit really well. But for the sake of a well-rounded lesson and having the option there, if you'd like it, I have tabbed it out for all of these. So let's take a look at this. So the first part's going to sound like that. So again, like I said, it's a lot going on. So you're going to start again with that F chord position, E string on its own, and then the rest of the chord after. And then third fret A, and then open E, and second fret G. So you shouldn't have to move your fingers, it's just plucking the specific strings. That's why your right hand's important. And you're going to pluck your first fret B while it's still being held. And then third fret D, second fret G. Then first fret E, first fret B. And then this next couple of eighth notes, third fret D, and your second finger is coming off your G to be open. Just like that. Now you're going to an A minor chord. So open A, second fret D, second fret G. And then your first finger is going to be on the first fret of your B. So pluck just the A, D, and G first. Then first fret B, pull off. Then E, open. Then you pluck D and G. Fingers are still on twos there. And then you pluck B as well. Now you're going down to your second fret D. Open B. And then you pluck open B one more time and hammer on. And pluck it after you hammer on as well. Now you go to your G chord. So I'm playing this in a little bit of a different place than your regular G chord. So it's going to be third fret E, fifth fret A, fifth fret D, and fourth fret G, fourth fret G. So it's like a G bar chord versus a regular standard position G. So you're going to hold that position. You're going to pluck your E, D, G, D, A. And then it'll repeat for the second bar. And if you wanted to do that open, it would just be third fret E, open G, open B, open G, open D. So both of those ways work and are acceptable. And then This one's a little bit more intuitive. So back to that F chord again, E string on its own, then the whole chord, then E, open G, 3rd fret A, 3rd fret D, and then you play your 3rd fret A and D and an open G, and hammer on to your 2nd fret G. Then 3rd A, open G, 2nd fret G, and then again. So. Just like that. And then it'll go through that F chord one more time. Except the only difference this time is in that 2nd bar there. Instead of playing that G string a second time on your 2nd fret, like that, it'll be, so you'll play 2nd G and then 3rd A, 3rd D. And then back to an A minor chord. So it'll be open A, the rest of the chords, similar to how we did the F, right? Open A again, open B now, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G. Then you strum the whole chord and hammer on to 1st. So whole chord open, B, and then hammer on to 1st B, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, and 1st fret B, open A. Now here you're going to your actual G chord position. So what I'm doing here is starting off the chord position the same. So 3rd fret E, 2nd fret A. And then instead of doing 3rd B and 3rd E, it's just going to be 3rd E. So your B is open like that. So I'm holding that position, then I'm playing 3rd fret E, open B and my 3rd fret E, 3rd fret high E string, and then open B, open D, open G. And then in the next bar, you're letting everything else ring out and you're going to pluck your 3rd fret E again. And just basically go up the chord broken. So 3rd E, D, open, G, open, B, open, G, D. So. Just like that. And then you're back to your F chord one more time. And again, the rhythms are a little bit different, but mainly the same as what we were doing. So 1st fret E, and then strum the chord. We've already seen that pattern before. Then 2nd fret G, 3rd A and D, and you hold for 1 beat there. And then back to your 2nd fret G, 3rd fret D. And then you're going to this chord over here. So it's a little bit tricky to get into because I've seen in the live recordings that Jake actually gets his thumb here on the 4th fret. And so I wouldn't worry about that too much just because of how big of a stretch it is. So in terms of the fingers that I'm using here, I'm using my 1st finger on the 5th fret B, my 3rd finger on the 7th fret G, and my pinky or my 4th finger on the 7th fret E. And then going into it, so you'll pluck the open D on its own, 7th fret G, and then you're plucking 5B and 7E together. And it'll be 1 whole beat for each of those. 1, 2, and then half a beat for this 3rd one. And you're playing G, B, E for that. Now in the 2nd bar here, it'll be plucking D and 7G together. Then 5B, 7E, 5B, 7G, and then the 3rd bar, again the pattern changes a little bit. So open D, 7G, 5 and 7 B and E together twice, and then 7G, 5B, and then a whole chord strummed down from your D string, just like that. So now we're going to take a look at the chorus. So again, you've got that melody line on higher strings, or the higher pitched strings, where and so that's going to be the most important part to really keep in there if you're changing up the strumming pattern. So you're going to start with that F chord again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten my first finger and bar it on those bottom 2 strings so that I can get the first fret E as well. So just like that. So you pluck the chord, then 3rd fret D, 2nd fret G, and then 1st fret E. Right? And then 3rd fret D, 2nd fret G. Now you've unflattened that finger and play an open E. And then you're going to play 3rd fret D. And what I'd recommend here is actually moving your finger up. So your 3rd finger will come up from your, or down from your 3rd fret A to your 3rd fret D, so that your pinky, your 4th finger, can grab the 3rd fret B. So the 3rd fret D, 3rd fret B, and then open E, and then A minor chord position. But you don't play the full chord initially, so you play the A power chord first. So open A, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G. Now 2nd D, 2nd G, 1st B, and then 2nd D, 2nd G, open B. Now 2nd D, open B, and then 1st finger goes back on your 1st fret B, and then back to your 2nd D. So now your C chord. So it'll be a full C chord first, then 2nd D, open G, then your pinky comes down on your 3rd B, 2nd D, open G, and then open E, 2nd D, 3rd B, open E, and then 2nd D. So there's not a whole lot of movement here. The only thing that happens is your pinky comes down on a 3rd of your B. And then this one's not too hard. So 3rd finger going to be planted on the G, 3rd fret, and then everything else is going to be open. So 3rd E, open D, open G, open B, then G, then D. Then my 1st finger is coming down on the 1st fret of the B string. Hold that, then open B, G, D, then 1st fret, B again, and then pull off to open, then open G. And then it repeats itself. So in total, it'll go through twice in that specific chorus, and then it goes into another part after the fact. But that's where I'm going to leave it here on YouTube for you guys. As I said earlier, there is a lot of nuance to this song, and it is very hard to get everything down, especially when you've got 2 guitar players. And Chris is playing fingerstyle. And so it's very similar to like a Dust to No In style from his point, but then Jake is playing with his pick. So there's 2 different clashing guitar parts that go on here. And so if you're not feeling like you can get all of these little nuances in there, as I said, just strumming like that rather than trying to pick out all these little notes will be much easier for your learning experience. And so don't feel like you have to do exactly what's written in the tabs here. If you can get those chords and, like I mentioned, the melody lines, that'll be all you'll need to really make this song sound good on an acoustic guitar. So as I said, the rest of this lesson is going to be on Patreon, link down below. There will be the PDF for supplementary tabs as well if you want to learn it exactly how it's on the tab, or even just follow along with the lesson. Linked down below in my description box. And don't forget to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.